You're listening to Psych to Parent, where we turn brain science into tiny wins at home. I'm Dr. Amy, your not-so-typical school psychologist, mom of two, and endurance athlete. I love a good data set and a diagnostic manual. But I also forget permission slips, overthink IEP emails, and occasionally replay the moment I snapped at my kids in the car. In other words, I'm in the messy middle with you, not above it. This show is for parents of big feeling, big thinking kids who are tired of vague advice and Pinterest perfect behavior charts. Each episode, I'll pull back the curtain on what I see in real evaluations, school meetings, my private practice, and my own kitchen, and translate the research into simple scripts, tiny routines, and nervous system friendly tweaks you can actually use. Think of it as a nervous system rehab meets mindset coaching meets a smart, slightly spicy, non-judgy friend in your earbuds. We'll take one real life challenge at a time and shrink it down into 1 or 2 tiny wins you can start this week. No perfection, no 47-step sticker systems, just small, repeatable shifts that add up over time. Quick legal-ish note in plain English. This podcast is for education and support. It's not therapy, it does not create a clinical relationship, and it's not a substitute for personalized medical or mental health advice. If you're worried about your child's safety or mental health, or your own, please reach out to a trusted professional. Okay, deep breath, drop your shoulders. You're not behind and you're not alone. Let's get psyched to parent. It's 7:42 p.m. You're in the kitchen trying to do 12 things at once. Rinse dishes, pack tomorrow's lunches, answer that one last work email on your phone that you've been trying to get done all day. Your child walks in, fills up their water bottle. You're half listening to them, half typing on your phone. Then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, the water bottle slips out of your child's hands and water explodes all over the floor. And you just mopped the floors maybe 30 minutes ago. You take a deep breath and say, "Hey, can you grab a towel and wipe that up, please?" Your child rolls their eyes at you and says something like, "Ugh, why do I have to do everything? It's not even that bad." And something in you, it just snaps. You slam the silverware drawer and your voice comes out louder than you meant. "Because I do everything around here and I'm sick of it. Just wipe it up for once." You look at your child and they're frozen in place, eyes wide. Maybe they start crying or on the verge of tears. Maybe they yell back. Maybe they storm off and slam their bedroom door. 5 minutes later, the adrenaline has worn off for you and you start to feel the shame creep in. Your brain starts the highlight reel. You're a grown adult. Why are you shouting at a 9-year-old? In my brain, it might sound something like, "Amy, you literally teach parents about staying calm, and you just lost it over a water spill." You might think, am I messing them up? Did I just become that yelling parent who swore I'd never become? This episode is about that moment, what you do next, and why it matters more than the fact that you yelled in the first place. In this episode, we're going to normalize the very human reality that even really good, really loving, well-intentioned parents lose it sometimes. We're going to talk about what happens in your brain in those I flip my lid moments, give you a simple way to think about repair without drowning you in research or turning this into some sort of TED Talk. And I'll hand you a couple of repeatable repair scripts and tiny wins you can use the next time you think, "Ugh, I wish I could rewind that and try again." You don't have to be a perfectly calm parent. You do need to become a repairing parent. And I'm going to walk you through what that actually looks like in real life. Now, if you've been around for a minute, you know I'm an endurance person and I love an athletic challenge. And one thing endurance sports have taught me is this. The goal is not a perfectly smooth climb. The goal is learning how to recover and keep going. Parenting is the same way. You will have those I lost it moments. We're not aiming for a perfect, never yelling kind of hike. We're building the muscles of repair, of saying, "Oh, that was a rough stretch. Let's reset and keep going together." Every repair is like a little aid station on this long parenting mountain. A moment to refuel, reconnect, and remind your child, "Hey, we're still on the same team. I support you." If you're listening and thinking, "I yell more than I want to," or "I said something last week that still makes me cringe," you're not alone. I've yet to meet a parent of a strong-willed, big-feeling, big-hearted kiddo who says, "I've never raised my voice. I've never slammed a door or cabinet. I've never said something in a tone I totally regret." Y'all, that parent doesn't exist. What does exist are tired parents who have their own overloaded nervous systems. Parents who have long days stacked with work, appointments, sibling drama, sensory overload, and then one tiny thing like spilled water on the kitchen floor, or maybe a back talk of, or refusing to put on pajamas, it hits that last frayed nerve for you as a parent. In my work as a school psychologist and parent coach, I hear so many versions of this. And almost every parent eventually whispers some version of, I'm so afraid I'm messing them up. If that's you, I want you to hear this really clearly. You're not here because you don't care. You are here and listening right now because you care. And a quick note for my parents of ADHD, anxious, gifted, twice exceptional kiddos, maybe the extra spicy kiddos. Your child's nervous system may be on a hard mode. That means their feelings are big, their reactions are big. And honestly, it can be exhausting. When their volume goes up, our volume as parents tends to go up too. That doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're parenting in a higher intensity environment. The goal of this episode is not never yell again. The goal is to understand what's going on and learn how to repair in a way that builds trust instead of stacking shame for you and your child. Let's do a quick brain refresher. If you're not driving, do this with me. Hold up your hand like a high five. Your palm is the downstairs brain. That's where survival mode lives. Now, tuck your thumb in to your palm. Your thumb is your amygdala. It's in your brain, it's your internal guard dog. Now, fold your fingers over your thumb so you almost have a fist. Your upstairs brain, the part that helps you think, pause, and choose your words. That's what your fingers are. When you're regulated, the thinking brain, that's your fingers, and the feeling brain, your palm, are working together. But when you're overloaded, like at the end of the day, hungry, maybe you're touched out, stressed out, your fingers pop up, and that's flipping your lid. So when you yell, it's not that you turned into a monster. It's that your nervous system got overloaded, your smoke alarm went off over burnt toast. That doesn't excuse the behavior, but it explains it. And explanations are where change starts. Here's the big idea in plain language. Relationships aren't built by never messing up. They're built by coming back. A rupture is a disconnection. Maybe you yelled, snapped, misunderstood, walked away too sharply. Repair is what you do afterward. You come back, you take responsibility, and you reconnect. Kids don't expect perfection. They need good enough parenting over time, where the relationship is mostly safe, and when things get messy, the adult returns. Ruptures themselves aren't the big problem. It's ruptures without the repair that gets sticky, because kids start building stories like, when someone is mad, I'm on my own, or I'm too much, or I'm unlovable when I mess up. Repair helps rewrite that story. So your job isn't never flip your lid again. Your job is flip it less when you can and repair faster when you can't. Here's the thing that I think is super cool with the research. Without going too much into the rabbit hole of research, here's what we know about kids. Kids thrive with warmth, safety, and predictability. Those far outweigh scary moments over time. And when repair happens, kids do better. Your steady returning matters. Plus, it's really great modeling for kids when they have to go through this in their own relationship. Let's go back to the kitchen table. You've yelled, your child has frozen or stormed off, you're standing there with that shame hangover. And here's one possible path. You can ignore it. Everyone tiptoes around each other until bedtime. Your child gets the message, when my mom loses it, we pretend it didn't happen. My feelings aren't part of the conversation, your child might think. You can do that. But let's look at an alternative direction we can go. Try this. You give yourself a few minutes to calm down. Then you walk down the hallway, knock on your child's door, and you might say something like, hey, can we talk about what just happened in the kitchen? Your child invites you in, where you notice they're sitting on their bed. You sit down on the corner of the bed, and you might say something like, I was feeling really overwhelmed when you spilled your water. And I yelled, and that wasn't okay. And I'm sorry, I scared you, and I took out my frustration on you. I was dealing with a lot of stress and pressure from work, and that's not your fault. Then you might check in with your child and say, did that hurt your feelings or make you feel bad about yourself? How are you doing now? And you listen. Your job isn't to fix. Your job is to listen, validate their feelings, and hear what they say. Then you can anchor your relationship with your child. Thank you so much for telling me about how you feel. You didn't deserve to be yelled at. I love you. We're okay. And next time I'm going to try to take a break instead of shouting. Now, this whole repair process maybe takes 60 to 90 seconds. It doesn't require a TED Talk. It requires naming what happened, owning your part, and reassuring the relationship. Think of it like a relationship bank account. Yelling is a withdrawal. Repair, warmth, shared jokes, bedtime snuggles, those are all deposits into their bank account. We're not aiming for no withdrawals ever. We're aiming for a long-term balance where the deposits outweigh the withdrawals. And every tiny repair is a deposit into their bank account. I'll tell you, even as a school psychologist and a mom, I still lose it sometimes. Here's a quick real Dr. Amy moment for you. I still lose it sometimes with my kids or my husband. And the difference now is I have a repair plan so that those feelings, that shame spiral, doesn't have to last so long. And we use these opportunities as chances for growth and learning. I like to ask the question, what did we learn from this and how can we do better next time? Let's have a big feeling kid reframe here for you and think about what your child might be trying to tell you. When you yell, your child's nervous system goes into threat mode too. Even if they look sassy or yell or stomp off or shut down on the outside, inside they might be thinking something like, did I ruin everything? Is mom still mad at me? Is my dad disappointed in me? Is it safe to talk? Am I bad? Your repair helps translate that moment into something less scary. Your repair teaches kids, grown-ups have big feelings too. It's okay to admit when you're wrong. Our relationship can handle conflict and still be safe. And I want you to hear this, especially if shame is loud in your head. Kids are more often worried that they are the repair helps shift that story for them. So instead of thinking, I'm bad and too much, it goes to, we had a hard moment and my parent came back to me. I still feel safe. And here's the most beautiful thing about this. When your child meltdowns, because you know it's going to happen, maybe they yell, you're the worst, or they slam a door, and you come back later regulated, you're giving them a blueprint for their own future repair. That's part of why I created the Big Feelings Decoder, to translate rude or dramatic behavior into what the nervous system might be communicating and give you a script that you can actually use in real time. Here are some parenting scripts that you can try. Script number 1, the basic repair. Hey, about earlier when I yelled, I was feeling really overwhelmed and I raised my voice. That wasn't okay. I'm sorry I upset you. I love you and we're okay. Script number 2, the check-in. This is really great, especially for older kids. Did that hurt your feelings or make you feel bad? You can tell me the truth. I want to know. Script number 3, the next time plan. Next time I'm starting to feel that mad, I'm going to take a break instead of shouting. Script number 4, one line for you as a parent. You can say this to yourself out loud or in your head. I messed up and I'm also a good parent who's learning. Let's talk about some tiny wins for this week. Here are 3 small things that you can try this week. Tiny win number 1, the park and pause it plan. Pick a one-word cue for yourself when you feel the surge. It might be pause, yellow light, not yet. Then try one of these. Stop mid-sentence. Take 3 slow, deep breaths. Say out loud, I'm getting really frustrated. I'm going to take a second. Park it. I'm too heated to talk kindly right now. I'm going to cool down and we'll come back to this conversation. Here, you're not aiming for a never yelled again this week. You're aiming for one moment you can catch yourself sooner. Tiny win number 2, the 3-sentence repair structure. And let's make it automatic. I feel like with this, if you have a script and you practice it, it makes it easier to use, especially when things feel a little heated or dysregulated at home. So it might look like something like this. Hey, about earlier, I lost my temper and yelled. That wasn't okay. I'm sorry. You're not in trouble now. I love you and we're okay. An option might be to add, did that scare you or hurt your feelings? Then add your one line of self-compassion. Tiny win number 3, say your next time plan out loud. After you repair, add 1 sentence. Next time, I'm going to drink water before I answer. Or next time, I'm going to step into the other room before I respond. Or next time, I'm going to take 3 deep breaths. This shows your child everyone in this house is allowed to be a work in progress and make mistakes and learn from them. Here's one question to carry into this week. When I think about the parent I'm trying to become, what is one small repair I can practice this week that future me and future my child will be grateful I tried? You don't need a 5-year plan. You just need one repair, one moment, one tiny win on this long, messy mountain. If this episode touched the tender, I yelled and I wish I could take it back place in you, first of all, you're not alone. Lots of parents feel this way, myself included sometimes. Second, if you want help decoding what's underneath your kids' big reactions and your own, I made something for you, the Big Feelings Decoder. It's a simple cheat sheet that helps you translate confusing, rude, or dramatic behavior into what might be happening underneath. And it gives you scripts you can use in the moment and after repair. You can grab it by clicking the link in the show notes or head to Instagram, find me at Psych2Parent and follow the link there. Make sure you're following the podcast so you don't miss future episodes. And if you have a friend who also texts you about their I lost it and feel awful moments, send this episode to them so they can practice repairing together. We're going to take tiny wins together, one big feeling, one repaired yell, and one ordinary evening at a time. Thank you for hanging out with me on Psych2Parent. I'm Dr. Amy, your not-so-typical school psychologist, and I'm genuinely glad you're here doing this work instead of quietly white-knuckling it and blaming yourself. Your tiny win from today's episode is simple. Do not overhaul your entire parenting style. Pick one idea, one sentence, or one tiny shift and try it in a low-stakes moment this week. Then notice what changes, even if it is just by 1%. If you want more support, head over to psych2parent.com. You'll find show notes, simple scripts, and parent-friendly guides that go with these episodes. While you're there, make sure you join the Tiny Wins mailing list so you get weekly brain-based tips, real-life examples from my work with families, and first dibs on new workshops and resources. It's the easiest way for us to stay connected beyond the podcast. If this podcast was helpful, it really does matter when you tap follow or subscribe. Leave a quick review or text it to a friend who is parenting a big feeling, big-hearted kid too. This podcast is for education and encouragement. It is not therapy, and it's not a substitute for individualized care. If you're worried about your child or yourself, please reach out to a trusted professional in your area. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are building something new, one tiny win at a time. I'll see you in the next episode, probably with a cold coffee in hand, cheering you on.